as well as we need to play. We played well enough to win this game, but we certainly got to play better, particularly on offense. I don't think we played the way we need to play offensively. I thought the block punt was a big play in the game. I thought defensively we came up with a couple of red zone stops that I thought were, big in the game. And then our ability to finish in the red zone today was kind of the deciding factor. I think we were 3 or 4, I think that's what it was, in the red area today. So, we finished drives and scored touchdowns down there. So there's some positive things, but obviously there's a lot of things we got to fix.
What didn't you like about the offensive performance?
Well, I didn't think we had really hardly any rhythm, early on. Well, I shouldn't say that. I thought early on in the first quarter, I thought we did a good job on the opening drive, basically being able to run the football. We were converting early. We stalled in the red zone, and then we missed a field goal. And then I think for probably a significant portion of the game, I just didn't think we had great rhythm, offensively. I thought our guys, in the fourth quarter responded. We got the big play to AT. Then obviously we, scored down there in the red area, and then we get a fourth down stop, basically down there in our red zone, and get another touchdown to kind of finish off the game.
It looked like Derek and McCoy had an exchange of words. Is it concerning at all that your quarterback's been in a couple of these things on the field?
No, look, this is a highly competitive business that we're in, so I don't think anybody gets too sensitive. Guys want to win, and that's really what this is all about. So, look, we addressed it. It's as far as I'm concerned, it's water under the bridge. Let's move on. You know what I mean? Let's move on.
When it's two team captains yelling at each other, one has to be held back. You don't
Look,
like that's a concern for team chemistry overall?
I think if you're ever in a highly competitive environment, and things aren't going the way that you want it to go, yeah, there's sometimes that you get frustrated. You lash out a little bit. I'm glad that both of them, have the balls to at least stand up and fight. You know what I mean? So, this isn't like a, hell, my wife and I argue. It happens. So let's don't make too much of it.
So you would say that this is something that you've seen before with teammates and team captains?
These kinds of things happen on the field. They happen on our sideline. They happen on our opponent's sideline. They happen in other NFL games. So I wouldn't read too much into it. I think that's two highly competitive guys that want to win.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, can I finish?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I just think when you have competitive guys and things aren't going the way that it needs to go, guys, they get pissed, and sometimes they express their emotions. And then you get over on the sideline, you calm down, and then you come back out and you regroup and you go. And that's what we did.
Sorry, but with that situation and then the fans even trying to cheer for Jameis a couple of times, the way that
Listen, stop. Okay? Stop. We're making way too big a deal of it. Let's move on.
Dennis, how would you assess Derek Carr's play today?
Yeah, I think up and down. I think much like the whole offense, right? Up and down. There were some good things. There's some things that we need to do better at. So that's how I would assess it.
Dennis, were you limited at all or a little more conservative than maybe you might want to be because of Derek's injuries? Did that play a role?
No, I don't really think so. I don't really think so. I just think we struggled to kind of get into a rhythm. I don't think our execution was where it needed to be. I did think we ran the ball well early on. And then obviously we weren't really able to throw the ball as well as we needed to. So then we began to get a little bit more loaded boxes and things like that made it a little bit more difficult to run the football. And then, look, when we needed to go make a play to try to end the game, we made a play to end the game. And so I thought that was positive.
Dennis, what do you think of the kind of hustle play by Debo?
I thought it was awesome. I think it's something we talk about all the time, defend every blade of grass, and he easily could have just allowed him to go into our end zone without, having to pay the price. He hustled down there, he stopped him short, and then we're able to get a red zone stop. I think that's part of, the culture of a winning team, and I thought that was exactly what we're looking for.
Dennis, going back to your opening statement, you guys ended up in a three-way tie for first again today, but I feel like the last couple of years there was a sense of the division hasn't gotten away from us. If we can get healthy, if we can play our best football game. Do you think this year it's even more about this team needs to start playing better than just, surviving long enough to let the stand?
Well, yeah. Look, I mean, obviously, I feel like we need to play a better brand of football, and that's what we're going to continue to work towards doing. But we talked about winning this week, and we took care of goal number one, and now we'll move forward and worry about the next week.
Jimmy, give you guys a little bit of a spark with that third down catch.
Yeah, I thought that was a hell of a catch. For him to go up there like that and then bring it in through contact is something that, we've missed a little bit, and it's been nice to see.
It was kind of hard to tell because Carolina was struggling on offense quite a bit, but did you feel like your defense gave one of its better performances in the last month or so? Or
I thought particularly in the passing game, I thought we did a good job. I felt like, again, I feel like there were some opportunities to get the quarterback on the ground that we didn't, and they ended up, converting a few more first downs via, his legs than I would have liked. And then we had, one misfit on a run, which ended up being a, explosive run. But I thought overall, they did some nice things, and I feel like kind of once we got them into, a passing game mode, I thought our guys, took advantage of it.
With Jimmy kind of giving you what he's given over the course of the past couple of games, touchdowns in the red zones for each of those, do you feel, what would you say your assessment is for the earlier decisions of him being inactive?
Yeah,
red zone trouble?
again, I'm not, let's start focusing on what we need to do moving forward. And, I think we've all been through those, decisions and thought through all those things. But he certainly has given us a little bit of an uptick the last couple of weeks.
What did you see on the block punt? How did it help the way it played?
Well, look, honestly, I'm not sure exactly how it got through. I know Nephi got through pretty clean and did a heck of a job of taking the ball off the foot, and then D-Jack was there to pick it up and run it in. I thought it was obviously, the design of the rush was good, and the execution of the rush was good.
Coach, at what point does winning no longer cover over the multitude of things when it comes to football? How do you approach the message to this team after the win, even though you had a good margin of victory on the scoreboard?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
So you win by a big margin, but it's kind of an ugly game. At what point does winning not cover up for a lot of the issues?
Listen, every game that you play, whether you win or lose, there's going to be good things that happen in the game. There's going to be some bad things that happen in the game. There's never been a game that hasn't been the case. But ultimately, this game's about winning. And so we won a game today. Nobody's going to apologize for winning a game today. All right? We're going to take the win. We're going to understand the corrections that we need to make, and we're going to work hard to correct those things. And that's the process that you go through on a daily and a weekly basis.
Seemed like there was, we kind of spoke about it on Friday, but a little bit more of an expanded role for Zach Vaughn as a pass rusher. How do you feel that he impact the game?
Yeah, look, hard for me to comment on that right now, but certainly, that's been something that we've, kind of needed. Maybe a little bit more speed on the edge, especially with Cam kind of being a little limited. So we'll evaluate the tape and see how it was, but I would expect that, we could potentially continue to see him in a little bit of that role.
I know Chris was sick all week. How, was he battling through that today?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was battling through it, but he fought through it. It was a hell of a play down there on the goal line to, catch the ball for the touchdown. So it was good, but he was not feeling well.
You kind of touched on this earlier this year, but how did Jimmy respond when he wasn't in the lineup? How did he?
Great.
Yeah.
Great. And he responded great when he got in the lineup.
Yeah.
He's a pro. So said he'd be ready when his number was called. His number was called, he was ready. So that was good.
Dennis, can you talk about Jordan Howard? Seems like he was all over the place.
Yeah, look, I mean, just on first take after, just coming off the field, I thought there were some good things that I thought he did in the game. I think there's some things that, we're going to need to correct. And so I probably can't get too much detail as to, exactly how I think he played because, it's kind of hard to do when you're just coming off the field. But look, I saw some plays that he impacted the game, and I saw some plays that I felt like, we got to be better there. All good?
Derek had 37 passing yards until the fourth quarter when y'all had that run at the end. How do you feel like he played coming off those injuries last week?
I think I mean, up and
How do
down.
you feel like he played?
Up and down.
Offense, but
I'd said he played up and down a little bit like the rest of the offense. I mean, that's really so it wasn't his best performance. But again, we won the game, so we'll make whatever corrections we need to make, and then and we'll move forward.
Was the early focus in the run game something that y'all were intent on having?
Yeah, look, we felt like that. Look, this is a really good pass defense, and they're top. I think they were 6th in the league in terms of pass defense coming into the game. So we knew that was going to be a difficult challenge, and yet we felt like there were some opportunities to potentially run the ball against them. I thought our regular running game was much better in this game, and particularly with us not having Taysom available to us, we knew that was going to be something that we were going to have to really do a good job of, is hand the ball off to the runners and let them go make yards. And I thought we did a pretty decent job of that.
And that's with the way the crowd has been the past 2 weeks. How much did you lose? I mean, I know you need to win every game, but how bad did you need to win this one?
Yeah, look, I think everybody in that locker room and everybody in the city of New Orleans needed the Saints to win, and so I was glad we were able to do that.
What do you think of the front four so far from this game?
The what?
Front four.
On defense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, look, I mean, why don't you let me look at the tape and before I can really comment exactly how I thought, Look, I did think we got after the quarterback a little bit more in this game than maybe what we have been able to do in the previous game. So that did kind of stand out to me a little bit. All right, thanks, guys.
Okay, Jimmy. All right,